Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are jumping straight into something that, well, it defines the modern high achiever. That persistent, kind of paralyzing feeling that you're a fraud.
And right away, the term most people use, imposter syndrome, is the first thing we should probably clear up.
Okay.
Researchers and clinicians, they much prefer imposter phenomenon, or IP. The thing is, it's not a diagnosable mental disorder you'd find in the DSM-5. It's a psychological experience.
A phenomenon. Got it. But phenomenon or not, the scale of this is, it's just undeniable. Research suggests it affects somewhere between 70 and even 82% of people.
That's right. It cuts across all kinds of gender and professional lines.
And it seems to hit especially hard in these really high-stakes worlds like, corporate leadership or academia. So our mission today is to unpack why success doesn't actually cure it.
Which is the great paradox.
Exactly. And look at the different ways it shows up. And maybe most importantly, ask if this is really just an individual problem that you need to fix.
Well, that paradox you mentioned, the inability to internalize your own success, that's really the core of it. You can have all the objective evidence in the world, but the feeling doesn't change.
Why not?
It's driven by a self-perpetuating loop. Researchers call it the imposter cycle.
Okay, so break that down for us.
It starts when a task, any achievement-related task, triggers this intense anxiety, a real fear of being exposed as a fraud.
And that anxiety makes you do one of two things.
Right. You either respond with obsessive over-preparation, just grinding yourself down, or you do the opposite. You procrastinate. You're paralyzed by the fear.
So hold on, you're saying it doesn't matter if I overwork myself or if I put it off until the last minute. The psychological result is the same.
The exact same. Because when you inevitably succeed, the next phase kicks in immediately.
Well,
You discount it.
how so?
If you over-prepared, you tell yourself, well, I didn't succeed because I'm smart. I just succeeded because I worked 10 times harder than anyone else.
And if you procrastinated?
Then it's just luck. Or maybe charm. You think, I just got lucky that time. In either case, your actual ability gets zero credit.
And the fear just resets for the next task.
It resets, and it often comes back even stronger.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all experience then? I know Dr. Valerie Young's work talks about different patterns because we all define competence a little differently.
Exactly. Let's just touch on two that are really great contrasts. First, you have the natural genius.
Okay.
This person measures their competence by how easy and fast something is for them. If they have to struggle or practice or really put in effort, they feel this deep sense of shame.
They think, if I was truly smart, this would just come to me.
Precisely. And so they start avoiding challenges where mastery isn't instantaneous.
I think everyone listening has known someone like that or maybe felt that, where the second you have to really work for it, you crash.
It's a huge vulnerability. Now contrast that with the expert. This person's measure of competence is all about how much they know.
The person with 1 million certifications on their LinkedIn.
Yes, that's the one. It leads to this endless credential chasing and just a crippling fear of being asked a question they can't answer, which of course stops them from ever taking action.
It's that classic analysis paralysis.
The absolute definition of it.
And I guess that's where you see those classic cognitive distortions, like just flat out rejecting a compliment.
Absolutely. The cycle is fueled by what we call discounting the positive. You mentally filter out any evidence, praise, data, a promotion that contradicts that core belief that you're a fraud.
So if all these individual tools aren't fixing it, that brings up the big question, right? How much of this is actually internal?
This is where the whole conversation is shifting. The really critical modern critique is that for many people, the imposter phenomenon is a perfectly rational response to a toxic environment.
What do you mean by that?
Well, look, if you're from a marginalized group, say you're a woman in tech or a person of color in a predominantly white boardroom, and you are constantly facing microaggressions or having your competence questioned in subtle ways.
The competency checking.
Right. Then the self-doubt you feel isn't just in your head. It's a reaction to real external friction.
And when we slap the label imposter syndrome on that, we're basically making it sound like their flaw, like it's their problem to solve.
You've got it. It completely misdirects the attention. The solution isn't to send that person to confidence training. The solution is to fix the biased, non-inclusive workplace.
So for organizations, the answer is what? They have to create psychological safety.
That's number one. And number two, and this is crucial, they have to give specific data-driven feedback. Vague praise like, good job, is so easy to discount.
But you can't really argue with the numbers.
It's much harder to dismiss something like the way you structured that deal saved the company $50,000. That's objective evidence.
So unaddressed, this isn't just about mental health.
Not at all. It leads to real career stagnation. People turn down promotions they've earned. It creates bottlenecks when leaders who feel like frauds can't trust their teams and start to micromanage.
As we wrap up, we want to leave you with a final sort of provocative thought to consider.
Think about where IP intersects with a concept called John Henryism.
What's that?
It's a term for the high-effort coping strategy used by some people from marginalized groups to overcome systemic barriers. It's that constant, relentless need to work harder to disprove stereotypes.
And that has real physical consequences.
It does. It's been linked to significant physical health costs, specifically higher rates of hypertension and cardiovascular disease. The stress is real.
So, as you move forward, the task is maybe twofold. You can use a tool like a wins journal to gather your own objective evidence, but at the same time, you have to question the environment.
Exactly. Ask yourself, what is my actual evidence for competence? And what part of my doubt is just the system talking?